Hey guys, I've spent the last few weeks hiking out to some of my favorite spots to figure out which of these cameras actually handles a sunrise or a mountain range properly. Most best of lists are just a bunch of numbers, so I bought these 5 to see how they feel in the real world.
Product number 1. Canon EOS Rebel T7 DSLR. When I first pulled the T7 out of the box, it felt like coming home. It's got that classic chunky DSLR grip that makes me feel like I'm not going to drop it off a cliffside. I took this out on a misty morning, and that 24.1 megapixel sensor really surprised me with how it handled the subtle greens in the trees. The optical viewfinder is a lifesaver when the sun is hitting the back of the camera and you can't see the screen. I did Father 9.AF a bit basic for moving subjects, but for a still landscape, it's solid. The Wi-Fi was actually easy to set up, which isn't always the case with Canon. If you're a student or someone who wants a real camera feel without spending a fortune, this is the safest bet you can make. It just works.
Product number 2. 4K digital camera for photography. Autofocus. This little black camera is surprisingly light. I barely felt it in my jacket pocket. It's marketed for vlogging because of that 180-degree flip screen, but I used it for some low-angle shots of wildflowers. The 48 megapixel images are sharp enough for social media, though I noticed the digital zoom gets a bit grainy if you push it too far. The autofocus is snappy for a compact, which I appreciated when the wind was blowing my subjects around. It comes with 2 batteries, and trust me, you'll need them if you're shooting 4K video all day. It's not a professional rig, but for a teenager or a casual traveler who wants something better than a phone but smaller than a DSLR, it's a fun little tool. It's definitely more about the convenience and the grab-and-go factor here. Product number 3. Canon EOS Rebel T7 2-lens kit. Now this is essentially the same T7 I just mentioned, but having that 75 to 300mm lens in the bag changed how I shot my day. While the 18-55mm lens is great for those wide, sweeping valley shots, I swapped to the telephoto lens to pick out a lone tree on a distant ridge. The dual-pixel AF and eye detection made it a lot easier to snap a quick photo of my dog while we were waiting for the light to hit the peaks. It's built like a tank and handled a bit of light drizzle without a hiccup. If you're just starting out and don't have any gear yet, get this kit. Having that extra reach with the second lens means you won't feel limited when you're out in the middle of nowhere. It covers all your bases right out of the gate. Product number 4. 8K digital camera with 3.2-inch touchscreen. This one felt the most modern in my hands, mostly because of that massive 3.2-inch touchscreen. It's super intuitive. Just tap where you want to focus and it locks on. I was skeptical about the 8K label on a camera this size, but the 88 megapixel stills actually have a lot of room for cropping if you want to frame your landscape differently later. The dual lens setup is a bit of a trip. You can switch to the front lens for a quick "I'm here" selfie without turning the camera around. I used the lens hood it came with to cut down on glare during a bright afternoon, and it made a noticeable difference. It's a great choice for a hobbyist who loves gadgets and wants a high-resolution screen to review their shots while still out on the trail.
Product number 5. 5K and 64 megapixel digital camera with wide-angle lens. The standout feature here for me was the included wide-angle and macro lens kit. Usually these extras are junk, but the wide-angle lens actually helped me cram a whole canyon into one frame without that weird fisheye distortion. The 5K video is interesting. It's a bit smoother than standard 4K on my monitor at home. I spent an afternoon playing with the macro lens on some moss and frost, and the autofocus held up surprisingly well at close range. It's a very lightweight plastic build, so I wouldn't go banging it against rocks, but it's packed with creative modes like time-lapse that are fun to mess with. If you're a beginner who wants to experiment with different types of photography without buying 5 different lenses, this bundle gives you a lot of variety for your money. Hopefully that helps you pick the right one for your next trip. I've put the links to all 5 cameras down in the description so you can check the latest prices. They tend to change pretty often. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you in the next one.